Hey, Dr. Shakib here from Irvine Spine and Wellness Center, your Irvine Chiropractic Office. I am here with Coach John discussing all the different things we think are good for runners to know, and this video has to do with pre and post running exercises, so stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Let's talk about pre and post running exercises. From your perspective, what are some of the recommendations from head to toe? What kind of exercises do you think people should do pre and post, and are they the same?
Okay, so for anything really, if we're doing a pre-exercise for something, I think the first thing we should think of is what's our goal. So if it's before our running session, before our lifting session, before our practice, our goal should be more than likely to have these exercises help enhance our practice. So along those lines, we should, for pre-running exercises, I think it's good to use exercises to reinforce good posture, one, and two, to ensure good hamstring health. So along those lines, for the good posture, I feel like it would be good to have some kind of exercise with cervical retraction, tucking the chin, extending the head, to reinforce that good posture that we want to have when we're running, so we're not starting to break and start to have issues along that line.
So I want to add a little bit of something. I'm sure every time I say tuck your chin in, I almost get too much chin tuck, and it forces the back of the neck muscles going to an extension. Mm-hmm. So it's more of a gliding of the head over the neck. So if the head was a train car and the neck was a train track, you're simply gliding the car over track. So it requires some degree of chin tuck, but not too much. So be careful with that. We don't want to be hyper stretching the suboccipital muscles. So you're simply gliding it back so your chin is parallel to the ground. When you start, it may be slightly up, so it's going to require some degree of chin tuck, and then you hold it there parallel to the ground and you glide it back and you hold it. I think it's a good exercise every time you're driving and you hit a red light, for the duration of the red light, to do this very exercise to kind of condition the area, given that you're sitting behind a computer and you're jacking it up. So that's a good neck exercise. Another good
cue I like to use, and that I learned while working at UCI, is imagine there's a fire in front of your face. So if there's a fire in front of your face, if you check your chin like this, the fire's still right here. It's probably still gonna burn your forehead. If you move your face back from the fire, we're starting to get that motion back onto those train tracks that we're wanting. One.
So with that said, now imagine there's a magnet on top of your head and it's sucking you up. So you don't want to be doing this because you're not elongating your spine. So elongating your spine, by the way, is not going to make you do that either, because actually, if you look at it from a one line, straight line perspective, if I stick my chest out, I'm actually not going straight up. I'm actually bending the line back. So you don't want to do that. Yes. You're hyperextending your lower back in the process as well.
So along those lines of posture, once we start to feel the elongation that we're looking for while doing this on red lights and some of that sort, I feel like the next step would be to add locomotion. So holding that, and not necessarily, it's a step towards running where we're moving our body, but we're not running. It's just a step back. It's a regression. So we would get what I call a bear hold, and you get into a 4-point stance, and you practice moving your head back away from the ground.
4-point stance, so they're on the floor in a quadruped position?
Yes.
So maybe can we do it here? Let's see if I can move this table. Let's see if we can do this. That should work. So what would that look like?
Why don't we do that table?
Because this one's closer?
Okay.
So you can be facing this way?
Say this is the ground.
Do you want me to be your model and then you correct me?
Yeah, sure.
So I'm just gonna be a regular patient, so I do everything wrong.
So we're in the ground, we're in our 4-point position. So we would spread our knees just a little bit further apart. We would put our toes into the ground, into an active stance. So drive So drive your toes straight into this cushion. So it would bring you up.
Oh,
So
like this?
Yeah, so it would bring her
Sorry.
knees, it would bring her knees an inch off the ground.
Okay.
So raise your knees just an inch up, an inch up.
And raise my knees up?
Yes.
Holy!
And then we retract.
I don't want to be a model.
Then we retract and extend.
Okay. So anything I need to do with my shoulders?
You could visualize just pushing the ground away to get a little bit of serratus activation.
Okay,
And-
so from my perspective, you want to make sure that your shoulders stack on top of your wrist, so you're not in or too wide apart. So my shoulders here, it's going to be there. Your fingers are nicely spread apart, and you're putting pressure on the 2 points here and 2 points here. That will give you the right amount of engagement of your scapula or shoulder blade muscles, which is highly important for other things as well. And you want to make sure that your chest is opened up, your head is not looking up, but you're engaging your neck from this point up. You're not sticking your butt out, you're keeping it neutral, you're pressing on the toes and bringing it up. Is that correct?
Yes, that is.
And then bring it down.
So to start, I would just bring it up, hold it, maybe
For how
30 seconds.
So my tendency, if I don't watch it, I'm gonna let my upper trap hold me up. We don't want to do that. We want to keep the upper trap away from the ears. And also I want to engage the barrel and make sure that when I'm landing and bringing my knees down, I'm not going to stick my butt out,
Yes.
go into this pose. So I'm going to keep everything in my upper back nice and flat, spread my toes, my fingers, hold this up. I don't know if I'm doing this right.
Yeah, I mean, it looks good.
And
So we would hold that for 30 seconds, and then to move
is it
forward,
over yet?
we would add locomotion. So we get that position, once we got it down, we would start moving in that position, not fast, not,
Moving
Very
in the
far.
position, you mean meaning moving forward?
yeah, like crawling. So we crawl in that position,
So I'm doing this.
and you bring your left leg and right leg, left arm up to crawl. While holding yourself up.
Like that.
Mm-hmm. And then
Oh.
the other one.
So this is in DNS, developmental kinesiology. We work on this a lot with patients to make sure that they have the proper posture. This is like advancement of that. That's a good one. I like this.
Yeah, so you can do it forward, you can do it laterally.
Laterally meaning sideways.
To side. I don't know, maybe you could do it backwards. I haven't tried that. I haven't seen it done, but I don't see why not.
Well, in DNS we do.
Oh, you do?
But the key here is to keep the shoulder blades balanced as you're moving your arm forward, which is that's not easy, just so you know.
It's not easy.
By the way, that's what we all did as babies. It's just freaking crazy.
Mhm.
We all did that. So keep the shoulder blades on the same level and your hips on the same level as you're moving the extremities.
Yes.
That is not easy.
Like a tabletop. Like if I put a glass, you don't want it to move you don't want it to fall off when you're moving.
Well, mine is not good. But that's a good move.
It's good.
That's gonna be my goal.
I have to say, I always gotta give shout outs. Coach Drew Mitchell at UCI. He's big on
Coach who?
Drew Mitchell.
Drew Mitchell.
Coach Mitchell. UCI works with men's basketball and track, and he's all about this position. He ingrains.
I want to
to
be Coach Mitchell.
Okay, you heard that, Coach Drew. Bring it over.
It seems like you're doing the advancement of the DNS stuff. We should talk. That's amazing.
Yeah,
That's wonderful. I'd never seen this move. So I'm actually doing a seminar coming up, so I'm going to make sure I'll bring this up to their attention. Anyway, anything else? We digressed in case you missed it.
Yeah, just touching on hamstring health, because I think we didn't give that as much love as the posture. I think one good way as a either post running exercise, or during your running exercise, find a hill, not a super inclined hill, but a hill with maybe a medium grade, and practice running up that, because it's on the grade, it's you're not going to be able to overextend into your strides. You're just not going to be able to. It's going to force you into better positions, force you to learn and ingrain that pattern. So just work with a hill for a little bit. It's going to help. And if you are having issues with this, I obviously wouldn't recommend any kind of decline running because it's going to reinforce this bad pattern.
And going downwards is very difficult on the knees, and that will definitely come to the surface and do some damage. The other thing is when you're going uphill, make sure you're engaging your barrel and your torso. You're hip hinging forward instead of bending forward and backward at the waistline. That is a huge thing that's going to give you an advantage of being able to run for a much longer distance. This is great for endurance runners. So you want to make sure you do a lot of hip hinging. Just for the record, hip hinging is movement at the hip joint. So as you're running uphill, you're not going to be doing this. You're going to be doing that, goes down, that goes down, like this. So make sure you don't run like this.
No, don't do that.
Anything else?
I think that's it. I think we touched on everything.
Well, thank you so much for watching. I hope you found value in the series of videos we did for runners. I think I'm gonna add these as a runners playlist on the channel for easy access. If you have any suggestions, if you have any videos that you wish for us to do, any subjects for videos, please go ahead and let us know. Call the office for any questions. And thank you so much for coming here and doing these for the general public. You're awesome. Right on, Bob. Thanks for watching.